to grow and make their cash other than giving them the stipend. But what happened? The idea was very brilliant, but in terms of oversight and implementation, that's where the government scored a 0, because we saw those money being plundered, and to date, nobody has ever come out clearly and give in terms of impact assessment on how was that program able to impact on young people. So aside from the good promises that are made, I think this time it's up to the Kenyan and most of the young people to scrutinize and look at who is likely to deliver and who has the heart for young people. And so far, nobody has come out clearly to demonstrate that. So it's up now at the lowest level, even before we come at the national stand, is now for the people at the grassroots to ensure that at the MCA level, they have a leader who is not only, because as a leader, sometimes it calls even going out of your way, because the government is not, at the moment, the state of our economy, we cannot rely on the government to do everything for young people. So once you are elected, it becomes your role to go out and look for avenue and opportunities that you can create an enabling environment for the young people to thrive at whatever level. But I think we are still waiting, and there's still time for both Azimio and Kenya Kwanza to come clearly with an operational plan that shows this is what we are going to do, and that begins from the plan and also showing the consequences of, in case somebody is put in charge of ensuring that the funds meant to benefit young people go to those young people. Yeah. So unless we eliminate that element of corruption, these promises will only remain the same empty rhetorics that you have seen over and over. Okay, I hear you. Yeah. All right, you've mentioned something that I'd want us to interrogate a bit, and this is, again, over-reliance, because it's so much that the state can do, and it's so much that they can promise, even the young people, since that's what we're talking about, you know, this Thursday morning. But do you think, and I just want to pick your mind on this, that the fact that we have so much relied on the state for everything, is this part of what sort of make us not to get to these positions, makes us not to achieve and get what it is that we want to get, because we feel like the government needs to do everything, the state needs to do everything for us, and again, particularly when it comes to youths? I think that needs to shift, and more so... Is it more like a mindset formed? It's not a mindset, because we cannot ignore the position of the government that plays in terms of creating an enabling environment for these young people to thrive. So what we're asking for as young people is not a platform where we will be given stipend. Maybe the people seeking to ascend to the highest office in the country, what they need to come up with is a good plan, and maybe things like tax incentive for young people who are looking forward to start businesses. We can exempt them for a period of time, because if you are a young person trying to set up a business, then there are those, maybe you find that there are those minimum statutory requirements that you are supposed to meet before you are given a license to operate. Those are the things that the government needs to look at to ensure that when you have a stable idea, then with minimal distraction on your path, you can be able to set a business. Look, for instance, like a country like Rwanda. Registering for a business is free, and within 24 hours you are able to have your permit to operate. But in Kenya, you find by the time you get the certificate and the license to operate, probably the capital that you had intended to invest into building the business will have been depleted, will have been exhausted trying to meet those statutory requirements. So what they need to look, what we are asking for is not the stipends. We just need a conducive environment where young people can thrive, So those are the things we want to see them talking about. Tax incentive, a very conducive and calm environment where young people can do business without being harassed, because sometimes as a young people, if you don't have enough financial muscles, maybe to bribe and keep every person that is trying to harvest something from you, then you are doomed. Your business will be closed the next day. For instance, after graduating from the university, I wanted to start a small barber shop. But going to the authorities for the permit to operate, you want to run a very small barber shop at the interior of Machakos, then you are required to pay between 7,000 to 12,000 to obtain the permit. And the cost of doing one shave, you find it 70 or 50 shillings. So throughout the year, you will be working to raise finances to recover from the permit that you paid. Okay. So suppose there was that incentive to maybe for 2 or 3 years just do operation. Once your business breaks even, then you are able to be now to start being meeting your obligation in terms of taxes. But that is one aspect that is pushing so many young people into coming away. And that's why we are seeing young people sinking into depression, because the environment is not conducive enough for them to thrive. What we want is the platform, not the stipends.
Okay, I hear you. So it's all about creating a good, conducive, enabling environment for these young people. But it's actually beyond and more than that. All right, so this has been Francis Wambua Kaviu, largely involved in matters concerning leadership and youth empowerment, and that is what we have been talking about, and we obviously bring this conversation to a close. But remember, we all are awaiting that 7-bench judge ruling from the Supreme Court as it pertains to matters BBI. This is after the High Court and Court of Appeal had declared this document unconstitutional. So which way will it be, even as all eyes are headed to the Supreme Court? But for now, I take you over to Troy on the other side of studio, who is going to at least help us understand more about this document. Troy, over to you.
Thank you so much, Doreen, and good morning, Kenya. This is KBC, and for now, it's only a couple of minutes. So as the Kenyans will know, and I'm quite sure the whole world is watching, all eyes will be at the Supreme Court. Today being the D-Day, is it the day that we say the last straw that broke the camel's back? Well, we are talking about the BBI. The High Court and the Court of Appeal did declare it unconstitutional, null and void. That set pace for the case to be taken to the Supreme Court, or if you like, the Apex Court, and today's judgment will be final for the 2020 BBI Constitutional Amendment Bill. Or will there be something to salvage? Well, all eyes will be at the Supreme Court. We have our team on the ground, and as they inform me is that just the final touches so that the judgment will be delivered by the 7-judge bench. And in studio, I have a constitutional lawyer, and he's one of the young minds, young, brilliant legal minds we have in the country. We will be trying to help us understand what to expect. But before then, all eyes today will be focused on the Supreme Court as the 7-judge bench led by CJ Martha Koome issued judgment on the appeal case on the Building Bridges Initiative BBI. Constitutional lawyers and law scholars said that this judgment will shake up the country, and more so the country's political landscape. We have a story prepared by